Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Cristin, and today I'm doing a getting out of debt update video. If you guys want to catch the first one of this, I will link it down below. This is part 2, a little update here. So in my last video, I talked about how we were going to be getting our tax return check before long, and we had planned to pay off one of our large loans and refinance my husband's car. Since then, we decided to do something different with the loan, or not the loan, with the tax return check. So we're gonna update you here on that. We ended up getting just shy of $5,000, or like $4,900 and change. So just shy of $5,000. So what we ended up doing, and I've got some numbers here. First off, update on some of our debts, I guess. In total, everything that I paid, I think I did that video back in January. So we got January and February here. We paid $2,500 worth of debt off, which is fantastic. $400 of that was to my dad. We had to borrow money from him back at Christmas time. We ended up having some late fees on our cell phone. We had to borrow some money to get that paid off. I was severely behind on my license plate. Not good. I owed like $300 to get my license plate, roughly. Some of these are rough numbers because I don't remember exact, so I'm rounding a little bit, but they're pretty close. So we got that paid up, and I have my current license plate, which is good. And then most recently, I had a credit card that I owed $154 on. I had a brain fart, and I sent them a money order for $150. So I could have had them completely paid off, but didn't do that. So, this credit card sucks. I should have not have gotten it. I should have read all of the fine details. This is my bad. Hopefully somebody out there can learn from my mistakes, read all of the fine print. The credit card that I got, the interest isn't bad. I think it's like 6% or something. Like, it's a pretty low interest rate. I thought it was higher than that. But it has an annual fee of $75 on it, which I don't appreciate. And then if you want to make a payment online, they charge you a $10 convenience fee. I'm like, okay, whose pocket is that lining? So I send them in money orders. And I will have to wait to get my next bill from them before I can fully pay it off. So that's aggravating, but whatever. Once this is completely paid off, $4 plus interest, I will be canceling off that credit card and getting rid of it. So that's exciting. We're almost done with that one. I also forgot to mention that I paid off $100 on another credit card that we had. It was for Tire Barn. So yeah, there's another $100 in there that we paid off that I forgot to mention. And then we paid $1,700 on my husband's credit card. He owed $2,500. So that leaves us owing, if I did the math right, $1,800. I did all of this math by hand in my own brain without a calculator, which I have not done since high school. So like, I know it's just adding and subtracting, but feel free to double check me if you want to. Yeah, so we ended up, like I said, getting our tax return check back, and we put a big chunk of that down on my husband's credit card. We'll see how that all pans out, but hopefully we can get it all paid off by the end of the year. I don't know. So we were going to make a big payment on our Best Buy credit card. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you know we had to take out a credit card to finance getting a refrigerator last summer because ours broke down suddenly. So the credit card that we have, it's interest free for 1 year, and then you get slammed with all of the interest if you don't get it paid off. So we have until like June or July, or maybe August. We need to figure that one out. To fully pay off the credit card, and we have $600 left on it that we owe. So we were going to make a really large payment on the Best Buy credit card, but my husband ended up stepping on a Hot Wheel and slipped over, fell over, stumbled, whatever. Stepped on the Hot Wheel, stumbled, into our window and broke it. My husband is okay, which is the important part, and because hospital bills are hella expensive. But our window is held together with duct tape right now, and you can just feel the cold air coming in and out. So it is going to cost, we didn't know how much it was going to cost to replace the window, so we ended up setting like $800 aside to replace the window. I need to get bank statements and check everything and see where we're at on everything. We had set $800 aside. Turns out it's going to cost us about $275 to get the window replaced. It's going to be $175 for the window itself, and then it's going to be about $100. The guy gave us the estimate as $100 for the replacement, which is not bad at all. So we will have money left over there. So we need to sit down and figure out, okay, how much can we put on the Best Buy card, or should we like get a new mattress, which is something we really need. So like, I don't know what we're going to do there. Paying off the Best Buy card would probably be the smartest thing to do, but I want to make sure that we get our window installed. I mean, we already bought the window, and now we just have to pay for the installation part, which is going to be like 4 weeks before the window comes in, because we had to have a custom sized window because we were off by like half an inch, a couple inches. Ridiculous, like. But anyways, at least the window was still cheaper than I was expecting it to be. Welcome to home ownership. So we just now have to pay the guy to do the install once the window comes in. So we have to pay that, and then we are finishing up fencing in our yard. And I'm really proud that we're able to cash finance these projects instead of putting them on credit cards. That feels pretty amazing to be able to pay in cash. So even though these expenses aren't necessarily cutting down how much we owe on our debt, it's cash flowing them is preventing us from going further into debt. So I think it's something to be proud of. Finishing up our fencing is going to be $750. We are putting in chain link on the opposite side of our house. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know we did privacy fencing last summer on the other side, which we paid in cash for on that as well. We saved up for it and paid it off. So we didn't have to pay it off, we paid it in cash. So yeah, chain link, my husband doesn't know how to install chain link. So we're having to hire somebody, so it's going to be more expensive to do chain link. Like, it's costing us almost as much to pay somebody to come out and do chain link, which we have a very small section that needs done chain link. It's costing us almost the same amount to hire somebody to come run chain link as it did for us to do our entire privacy fencing. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that the side we did privacy fencing on is a fairly large section of yard. But since we did it ourselves, well, my husband and my brother-in-law and father-in-law, we didn't have to pay for labor, we just had to pay for parts. I think it costed us a little over $1,000 to do privacy fencing ourselves on the other side. And now we're gonna spend, like, you guys, have you guys seen how much chain link we were running? It's not much. Like, if I was good with measurements, I could tell you. My guess, less than 20 feet. So probably 40 feet total. Because we're gonna run a little bit of chain. My neighbor has chain link that separates our houses, and so we're gonna run it from our house to her chain link on one side, and then from our garage to her chain link on the other. And I think in total it's 40-45 feet of chain link in total, maybe. Maybe less than that, really. I don't know. It might even be less than that. I feel like that's a lot. I'm not good with math or measurements, but it's still kind of like. But $750 is cheaper than I was expecting. When we got our first quote on that, when we first moved into our house, it was like $1,000 with Lowe's is what they wanted to charge us, and they said that we needed to get more fencing done or they wouldn't do it because we had to meet like a certain quota or whatever. So anyways, found some other independent company that just does fencing, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll take on your small project, $750. So yeah, that's gonna be 2 projects we're doing out of cash. So again, not really doing anything to take off our debt, but being able to finance those with cash is helping to prevent us from going further into debt. And it's only gonna bring up our property value, so I guess that's a win. Plus, a fence will be fantastic to keep our kids corralled now that we've got 2 of them running around. Well, the baby's not walking yet, but he won't be far behind. And then eventually we'll end up getting a dog at some point. No plans anytime soon, but eventually I'm sure we will get a dog and it'll be good to have a fenced in yard. So, you know, only good things come from these projects. So with all of that said and done, that leaves us still owing $5,718 on my husband's car. We have not made any big payments on that. We're just doing our basic. I pay a little extra, not much. I mean, I owe $208 a month and I pay $210, so you know, making big dents there. And then the loan we have for the property next door, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, house next to us caught fire. We bought it, demolished it, turned it into our yard, which is what we had privacy fencing done last year. The loan we took out to actually buy the property and do the demolition, we owe roughly $4,000 on it. I don't have my bill here at the house yet to like know exact numbers, but it should be hitting about $4,000, maybe a little less. Best Buy credit card, we owe $600 on, so hopefully we'll get that paid off soon. $4 left on that stupid credit card that I took out and stupidly did not send in enough money. And then I have $160 plus late fees on my other credit card that I took out that I intend to keep. The reason that I'm gonna have late fees on that is because I was expecting to get our tax return check back like in the middle of February, and we didn't. And I kept pushing off my payment because I was hoping to be able to send in enough money to pay it off. And we didn't get our return check until like the very end of February, which made me late on my payment. I'm probably about 2 weeks late on it now. And of course it's gonna come with late fees and a lot of crap. And then because now we gotta replace the window, I don't have the money for that. So again, we need to sit down and figure out finances and go over everything. So yeah, I'm not doing so hot on that one. So I still owe my son $300. Our heater went out around Christmas time last year. Man, December was rough because we had Christmas coming up. Our heater went out on us, and then we also had we got late on. We ended up being late on our cell phone and had to borrow from my dad. So we had to take $300 out of my son's savings account to fix the heater. So we owe him $300, and then property taxes will be coming due really soon. I will be getting my paycheck here from YouTube here at the end of the month, and I'm always super open with you guys about finances and about like where my money sources are coming from, because I know so many people out there just like us are paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, sitting down here and seeing how much money we have spent on and like paid up on stuff is impressive. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, did I do any of this right? Yeah, so to sit here and be like, oh wow, we paid off like $1,550 worth of debt in the last 2 months is like, and I don't know how much you can really call the car thing debt. I mean, but I was late on it and it needed done, and you know, we kept putting off getting it finished. So to look at that and be like, wow, we paid that much is kind of insane to me, but keep in mind, $1,700 of that came from a tax return. So in 2 months, we did $850 pretty much out of pocket in debt that we did pay off. And looking at that, I'm like, man, how do we come up with that? And really it comes down to saving every little bit aside that we could. So my husband has a full-time job, and that is really what we try to live off of as far as our bills are concerned. I have a job that I work on the weekends. I don't make a ton. I think I make like $11.50 an hour, and I only work 6-hour shifts, 2 days a week, just the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So the money that I make there, the money automatically goes to paying for my husband's car loan, and then for the loan we have on the property next door, which is our yard. So that's pretty much now and void. Like that is gone like as soon as I get it. And then I also do YouTube, and I'm right on the in between making 400 and making 380. It's kind of fluctuating between there. So I'd say it's fluctuating anywhere between 380 and 420. It's kind of where it's at. And then I also am a dog groomer. I would almost call myself a hobbyist at this point. I have a decent client base out of my house, but I don't work for a shop or anything. It's really just like friends and family. I used to work in shops. I don't anymore. If you're curious about that, I can leave a link to a video below talking about why I don't work in shops anymore. So I bring in a little bit of income with that, but that is so like hit or miss. It's like, I feel like every 8 weeks, everybody wants to get their dog done at the same time, and then I won't have a groom for like 2 to 3 weeks. So I guess I shouldn't say every 8 weeks, I should say every 4 to 6, but so yeah, I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, how did we come up, how were we able to do 1,800? Really like 800 out of pocket, but you know, we were able to, and I feel proud of myself being able to sit here and say that we did that. I know a lot of times, like, there are folks here on YouTube who make buku bucks on YouTube, like big money, and they're like, oh, I was in debt, and like, let's do a debt journey. And I've been following Cullen and Katie, and I love watching them. I think they're really inspirational, really good tips. But I feel like their regular income isn't necessarily realistic for most people, and even they'll acknowledge that. I can link them below if you guys have not watched Cullen and Katie. They're fantastic. And I know Sara Ray also did a similar video talking about getting out of debt. But like, when you make $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 in a month, then like, that's almost half my income for an entire year. I'm like, well, there's no way that I can pay off $10,000 in a month on anything. So that's why I'm here, because I'm right there with you. Okay, like, we made $52,000 last year total. So, which I know is still more than a lot of other people, but it's less than others, and I feel like it very much hits like middle bracket income. So in a lot of ways, we are paycheck to paycheck most of the time, and we do all that we can. I donate plasma twice a week, so that really helps boost finances too. So like, and I sell stuff on Facebook. So like, anything that I'm tired of using or done using or whatever, I sell it on Facebook, and money adds up. I'll just pocket it away. So yeah, that's just kind of like what we're doing to try to pay things off. So that means this upcoming, like, I'm kind of holding off making any more payments on anything until after we get the fence installed, which happens on Monday. And then I want to set aside probably like maybe $200 or something for the window, because I know the guy said it'll be $100 for the install, but just in case, I almost feel like it'd be good to set a little extra aside in case anything comes up from that project. So I would like to get our son paid back. So that's like $300. I have to set money aside for our property taxes, and I know that I can't remember when the bill comes in for property taxes. We're rolling into March right now, and I don't remember if that comes in March, May, or April, because there's spring property taxes, and we're gonna owe like about $300. And they come in at the same time, because where I live, you have to pay your spring property taxes and your fall property taxes. We owe $300 for spring and $300 for fall. The spring ones will come in, and I'll probably have like 2 weeks to pay them, and then I'll also get the bill at the same time for the fall property taxes, and they won't be due until November. So I'll have time to save up for that one, but for like the spring one, I don't want to get like stuck in a hard spot. So I feel like whatever I make off YouTube this month, which I think is going to be like just over $300, I feel like I just need to pocket it away, put it in the bank or something, until we get our property taxes, which means that I won't be able to make any payments on anything with it, which really sucks, because honestly, I don't know if I'll get the bill in March, if I'll get the bill in May, if I'll get the bill in April. Like, I don't remember. So it might be that we're just going to be sitting on it for a little bit, which is okay. It's not a, you know, horrible thing to have money in the bank, but I would really like to be able to pay stuff off if I can. One of which being my kid. Like, I'd really like to get him paid back. So I think moving forward, and again, without sitting down and really looking at finances, my big goal is to get the my $4 credit card paid off. Get rid of that thing. And then I have $160 that's on my other credit card. I really think that's should be my next big goal to work on paying off, would be to pay that off. And then whatever we have left over sitting from our whatever's left over from our tax return, I think we should throw on Best Buy and try to get that paid off. So that is a $160 credit card, a $4 credit card, so we're at $64, and then we owe $600 on Best Buy. So that puts us at $764 of debt to pay off. So I don't know if we can get that paid off here in the month of March. We will see, especially with needing to have $300 set aside for property taxes. That's like a really big chunk of what I would use for paying debt, but you know, we'll see how it works out. So that's our number to go for. I mean, we did roughly $800 between January and February, so doing another $800 between March and April, because I'll do an update in April. We'll see how this works out. So keep your fingers crossed for me. But I'm pretty pleased. So far we have paid off in total $1,800 of our debt. So that feels pretty good. So that is it for this video. If you guys are working on paying off debt as well, let me know in the comments below. If you have any videos that you're working on doing, leave those below as well. I'll come watch it. I'll come check it out, see how you're doing on your debt if you're making a video about it. So that is my little update. We're off to a good start for the year. I don't think it's going to work out to get the car or the personal loan that we took out for the property paid off this year. I just don't see that happening. But hopefully we can get some of these smaller things paid off, and then we'll just be left, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll just be left with the property loan, car loan, and my husband's credit card. So it's a work in progress. We're getting there, guys. Nice chunk already done to start with. So, and again, just what I'm doing is I'm doing everything I can to get money, and then I'm throwing all my extra money on debt and then just shoveling it in. So that's just my goal. Like if I saw anything on Facebook, I throw it in something, make a payment. If I groom a dog, I put the money on a payment. If I donate plasma, I'm trying to put the money on a payment. Any extra money I have going on a payment. So that's just kind of what we're working with right now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video, maybe found it a little bit inspirational or some tips or something for helping you get out of debt as well. Read your fine print on your credit card, guys. Seriously. Learn from my mistakes. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I know it was rambly, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope to catch you in my next video.